the A320 is the base model with a length of 37.5 meters. Okay, and what they basically did was they just increased the length of the aircraft by installing more and more airframe sections. Okay, so the length differs. However, the height will be the same for everything but the 318. The width of it will be the same for all single aisle models. The width of the cabin will be the same for all single aisle models. And the elevator stabilizer will be the same for all single aisle models. So everything is the same except the length that varies and the height for the 318 is different. Here we have some pictures of how they did it. So if you imagine the A320 being the base model, okay, with some sections here, and that was the beauty of the Airbus design and the philosophy of its success. Basically, three major manufacturers got together. That was Aerospatiale in France, British Aerospace in the United Kingdom, and Daimler Aerospace was in Germany. Got together and said, right, we're going to manufacture an aircraft. It's going to be in sections. Each country is going to employ different factories to make different sections, and that country will be responsible for those sections. And then what we're going to do, we're going to, when those sections are finished, we're going to fly them on those belugas to the final assembly line, they call it, which is one in Hamburg and one in Toulouse and one in Beijing in China and one in Mobile, Alabama in America. And they will put all the bits together. Okay, so that's the whole idea of this concept. So each manufacturer was responsible for their specific section. So the nose section, for example, was made in a place called Saint-Nazaire in France. Okay, together with different variants of the aircraft, also come different various engine options. So the 320 was the first one. And when the 320 first came out, it was with a CFM 56 engine only. Okay, that was the base model 320-100 came out. If you don't know how to recognize the difference between a Dash 100 and a Dash 200, there wasn't very many Dash 100s built. The first 20 were built for a company called Air Caledonia that went bankrupt, and British Airways bought them all, actually, when they bought Caledonian. They are the wings without any wing fences. So there are no wing fences at the end of the wing. Those are the 320-100s, not very many around. And then the A320-200s then started being produced with the wing fences that evolved then to sharklets, etc., etc. But the first engine variant was the CFM. They produced a lot of A320s with the CFM engine. The reason when they went with CFM, it's a very interesting story. A lot of deals, financial deals, to bring an aircraft to production costs a lot of money in research and development and investments. And although the French government, the British government, the German government were invested, because of these EU laws where the governments are not allowed to invest money into specific companies because it's unfair trading, they needed an external bank to be able to support this financially, this project. So they went to a big bank, a GE bank. So the company, General Electric, has a financial services arm where they lend people money. GE lent Airbus the money to set up this project. And they said, okay, we'll give you the money, but you're going to have a GE engine on it, which is the CFM 56 variant. They were already producing the CFM56 from the 737. So it was easy to produce another engine to re-engine for the A320 original aircraft. At some stage down the line, they were very successful. They made all the other engine manufacturers very jealous, and at some stage, Airbus said, "Right, we're going to roll out a 321, and it will probably have a GE, i.e., a CFM engine." Now, Airbus was pretty successful by then. The A320 had proven itself, so all the European, especially the engine manufacturers, piped up and said, "Hang on a minute, you've produced 1 million 737s, all with the CFM 56s. You've produced a couple of thousand A320s now, all with CFM 56s. Why can't you, as a European Union, give us a chance? Or as a European company, give us a chance?" So they said, "Okay, we'll give you a chance. You got 6 months to come up with an engine option." Okay, 6 months into producing a medium-sized fan was impossible for one single company. Therefore, five companies, hence the Roman V for the V2500. Five companies formed a consortium called International Aero Engines, and it was called 2500 because it was based on 25,000 pounds of thrust. Okay, and these five partners, don't want to misquote anybody, but one was Rolls-Royce, one was MTU Germany, one was Mitsubishi from Japan, Fiat from Italy, and I think, who else was it? Maybe Pratt and Whitney, not sure. But these were the five partners that got together to quickly come up with another engine, which they successfully did. Initially, not so well. If anybody remembers the V2500A1 engines that came out initially, they were really not very reliable, prone to a lot of errors, a lot of AOGs, whatever. But they've modified them to the V2500A5 engines now, which are pretty good engines now, and they've been going for years. And a lot of people, a lot of airlines still go for them because of their reliability and their noise abatement and their fuel consumption, etc., etc.